And now, the SleepHawk Worldwide Podcast. Here are your hosts, Brandon Staton and Tyler Hansbrough.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the SleepHawk Worldwide Podcast. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Sleep Dawg and the Big Hulk.
What's up, everybody? Happy Mother's Day. We're coming in late at you. A little late night pod for me and the Sleep Dawg, but you know what? We're going to talk. We don't know what we're going to talk about right now, but we got a great pod coming for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be the best one yet. We got a lot of stuff that we don't. Yeah, guys, it's almost intriguing. Like, if you never listen to this pod or don't listen to it much, like these next few weeks, maybe even months, might be some of the best because, guys, we probably spent 30 minutes sitting here and it ain't a whole lot. I mean, we're like trying to strike oil in the desert here, fellas. So we've got the NBA draft lottery. Mm-hmm. Hang on to your seats, folks. We've got the NBA playoffs. The Hurricanes ain't even helping us out. They're down 3-1. It was Mother's Day, so we'll probably forage something out of that. And then college graduation, right? Seems like yesterday. With maybe touch on that. And there is a couple interesting NBA goings on. Rory McIlroy won the Wells Fargo. I watched about 6 shots of that thing just for some reason today. Hell, I mean, at this rate, Big Hog might just tell everybody about my HVAC getting replaced this weekend. That's about what's going on. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, guys. So buckle up because we're just trying to make it to that Jimmy's golf tournament next week, and then we'll have something to talk about. But I don't know, Big Hawk, what'd you get your mom for Mother's Day?
I gave her a text message.
Attaboy.
No, hey guys, I'm joking, man. I always get my mom a card, and
oh man,
I always get her something that she's kind of picked out. But no, I mean, it is a special day for all the mothers out there. So my mom knows how much she means to me. So.
Well, my mom doesn't never listen to the pod.
Yeah, she's in Florida right now, so I didn't get to spend any time with her. But I called her today and wished her happy Mother's Day and had a good conversation with her.
Happy Mother's Day, Mama Hawk. I kind of like Tomahawk. I kind of like that. It could be a good thing for her.
Tomahawk steak, ribeye.
Yeah.
Never underestimate those guys.
It's never.
Just said
so the good news for me, all right, my parents live in Boondocks, and they're coming to see me on Friday next week. So I'm going to get Mother's Day deals. Okay. Like, I called my mom, of course, FaceTimed her. I got a baby, so it's great. I mean, it's like built-in present for a long time, right? And so, I just like, hey, happy Mother's Day. Look what I got you, this kid. And but like getting cards and stuff, man, I'm in no hurry, dude. I might wander into Target tomorrow, and just pick from the leftovers at like 80% off, maybe some candy at 80% off, and she'll never know the difference. And best part, I don't think she's ever listened to the podcast, so she won't even, won't even blow my cover. Maybe give her a Jimmy's seafood box. That's what I always do for my dad for Valentine's or for Father's Day. By the way, I guess it's a good time to plug that. I mean, hell, I know all you guys listening to this forgot all about Mother's Day until last night. Me and my buddy are at Target at 9:30 last night buying cards for our wives. Yeah, dude, Jimmy's seafood box, best Father's Day present you can get. You can go ahead and order that sumbitch right now and just tell them when you want it, and they'll have it to you. Yeah, so my wife's first Mother's Day, that's a big thing, man. Mary's first Mother's Day, so we had a lot of fun with that. We have a 2-month-old, and he does a lot of like eating and crying and sleeping and using his diaper.
Sounds like me.
Yeah, I mean, what a life. So yeah, I mean, it was chaos, dude. We go to Target last night. Me and my buddy Dustin. Some of you might know who that is, but Big Hulk, my buddy Dustin. I mean, he calls me at 9:30 and says, "Hey, dude, you got your wife anything for Mother's Day?" I was like, I'll roll with you, And so we're at Target, dude. It is like all people like us. I mean, it was busy, lying around, and all they had open was the self checkout. It's all dudes like us, like just going through the cards that are left over, Shame on me, but I took the night shift. Here's the thing. So you have a baby. Told you guys, dude, we're going to get down into it today. We got nothing to talk about. So what I try to do is just like, my wife is like a saint with his kid. You know what I mean? Like he gets up so he gets in the bath at 7. He'll like eat and then go to bed around 8. Then he wakes up around midnight, pissed, like ready to eat again. Right. So you got to get him, you got to make a bottle. You're like just hitting that REM sleep, boom, wakes you up, go feed him. Right. You feed him. That takes about 45 minutes. So it's close to 1 o'clock. You lay him back down. About 3:34, bang, back up again. Wants to eat again. Same routine. And then you get him back down, and maybe now he'll make it to like 7. And I do a lot of pretending to be asleep while all that stuff's happening. I was just like act like I didn't hear any of it. Well, Mother's Day rolls around. You don't really have that option. So I tried it for one night. All you moms out there, like, dude, I don't know how people do that. I don't know how moms do this like more than one night in a row. Shout out, because, dude, I'm dying right now. But at midnight, I already told Mary, I was, hey, clock strikes midnight. It ain't Mother's Day no more. I might not hear.
I'm sure you said that.
But no, man, that's what I did. I was cleaning the house and shit. So that's 2 S-bombs, man. We've been trying to get rid of those. Sorry. Yeah. So I've just been trying to be of service today. But anyway, NBA lottery, maybe college graduation. Let's talk about that next.
Yep.
Let's drag this on. So speaking of that, it's interesting how I get why college graduations are on Mother's Day, because like what could make a mother more proud than seeing their child graduate from college? But at the same time, like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. It takes up the day. But a lot of kids graduate from college. Congratulations to, I think it's 4 Tar Heels. I just saw a picture. It's Bo May, is it Paxson Wojcik, RJ, Cormac Ryan? I think those are the 4. I hope. Maybe not.
Armando too, right? Well, he graduated.
Armando graduated about 6 years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so yeah, I think he was in my class. Congratulations to all the people that made it through college. And look, if you were supposed to graduate this year and you ain't quite on track, hey man, it took me 8 years to get out of undergrad. That is a true story. So just keep trucking.
First question, Sleep, what are you drinking right now? Is that a Topo Chico?
Dude, Topo Chico lime with mint.
They make
flavored sparkling water.
I have not seen those in the can.
Dude, these are Costco.
All right, I'm gonna have to go there, dude. I'm drinking this Pellegrino.
Yeah,
and
old fashioned.
Yeah, it's old fashioned, old classical. I do like the Topo Chicos, but I never find them in the can. I'm a big can guy. I like them. They're better in the can. The plastic bottles in the gas station, just not the same.
Never plastic.
And the glass is just a little too much for me.
The glass bottles are like, you can literally have too many of those things. Like, I'm pretty sure they're drinking Topo Chicos, because I got on them for a while, heavy. And man, I'm pretty sure they messed my esophagus, dude. They are so, you can literally take a Topo Chico out of a glass bottle. You can leave it open for 3 solid days and drink from it, and it's still carbonated. I don't know what they do to that stuff. And I'm not exaggerating.
Dude, it's a good quality brand. It's one of the best. I like it. I'm a big fan. I've just never seen them in the can, and that's why I don't get them much, but I'm going to have to find that and go get them.
Dude, they have orange. There's orange, blueberry, and lime, and all of them are good in the can. And these aren't even like the alcohol ones.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of, I like it unflavored, but I will drink a little lime every once in a while.
Yeah. These are solid.
So I'm going to have to find those out. And the reason I drink the carbonated water or mineral water, whatever it is, I have a weird food allergy and I haven't pointed it down. And whenever that does happen, I don't know what it is, carbonated water. One of my friends had the same thing, knocks it right out if I have a reaction. So
Dr.
Yeah. It's been game changer,
medicine, man.
And Honestly, I like them. They're kind of refreshing. But back to your graduation. Whew. Man, graduation was rough.
Mm-hmm.
You know why it's rough? Because it's on a Sunday and it's early.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what else is rough? It's that Saturday night before graduation.
A lot of
guys, there it is. There's a lot of hydrating that
Not
night.
many Topo Chico seltzer waters.
Oh, man. Just straight. I remember I used to hang around after school was out just around graduation because I would never take off around that time because it was a great time to go out and have a lot of fun.
God,
and there was a lot of action.
I only went through about 17 of them.
Oh,
I mean, the early days, like, dude, my first, like, I was supposed to graduate in 2006. I didn't graduate until 2010. So, I mean, there was three or four of those, like, yeah, I mean, there's 3 or 4 of those where it was just like, dude, I ain't even sniffing graduation. So, I mean, picture this. If it takes you until 10 and you're supposed to go in 06, like on the eve of graduation in 06, it's not like you think you might graduate. Like, and like, it ain't like you think you might graduate next year either. I mean, you got a ways. Okay, guys, I made it out okay. It's amazing to me that I'm still alive, A, B, that I'm gainfully employed beyond this podcast. But, dude, college graduation is something, man. It is. Oh, boy. I'd hate to go downtown for a, bite to eat on a Saturday night, dude. No chance, man. Those kids. That's the crazy thing that you kind of forget about in college is, like, because I live in Raleigh and I'm kind of like close enough to like certain haunts where like occasionally you'll go somewhere different and be like, oh, damn, like college kids come here. And like the Chapel Hill, it was like everything was that anyway. But like you go places occasionally and it's like, why are these? Oh, yeah, man, these kids are just here to get absolutely obliterated on Wednesday night. College is wild, dude.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to believe. This is the thing. 2024 it is. Dude, I graduated high school 22 years ago.
Man,
that's brutal.
It's almost laughable to think about. It's happened so fast. Who was your commencement speaker? Do you even remember?
No clue. I didn't go.
Yeah, mine was.
Dude, at my point, I was like, dude, I don't even deserve to walk across the stage. Like, I'm pretty sure they might have just like let me out of there just to get me out of there. I was on my last semester. Yeah. Me and shout out Gus Fraley, man. Me and Gus Fraley were taking math logic. And it was like, if we didn't pass it, we were done. Or I was done. I don't think he was done. It didn't take him 8 years.
They ain't no easy.
I have no clue who my commencement speaker. I don't have a clue who any of the 4 were that I could have attended.
2009 Desmond Tutu. That's who was our commencement speaker.
I do remember that one. I remember it now that you say that.
Yeah, I saw that. Who'd Duke have this year? Jerry Seinfeld, I think.
Oh, wow.
That's
boring. Dude, the craziest thing too is, so then I went to grad school. I mean, so you want to talk about nuts. It took me 8 years to get out of undergrad and then I go get an MBA. And I went to that graduation. I'm like, why did I come to this? I've made the right decisions. This is so stupid and boring. Like, I'm still going to get a shitty paper. Like, I'm going to take them a picture. And then they ring you up for the cap and gown. That's bullshit. Okay. I'm going to call that what it is. Like, if you graduate from an institution that costs whatever the heck it costs to go to these places, like them cap and gowns that are made out of like paper towels, like you should come on, spring for that, Chapel Hill. I mean, you could put a bunch of free t-shirts on the back of my football seat, but you can't get me a shower curtain and a paper plate to wear across the stage. Come on.
Yeah.
Fake piece of paper.
That's too much. I agree with you. I'm not a big fan of the cap and gown either, but I think the commencement speaker for UNC was an astronaut this year. It's pretty cool. I was reading up on her.
Yeah.
Forgot her name, but I was
She went to Chapel Hill, didn't she?
Yep. She's a Tar Heel.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool.
Dude, they should do graduation at night. Like, it should be like late night with Roy kind of situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, they should just, it should just be an absolute, that's how you get kids to your university. It's like, look, when you graduate, we already know it's going to be lit. You know what I'm saying? So like 7, 8 o'clock, all the parents there, right? Like, I mean, it should be like a night primetime football game.
That is a great idea. And the reason
I should be the chancellor.
Yeah, you know what? Chancellor. I like that. I like
Give
that.
me
I
the
think
board
you'd be
of
a great
trustees,
chancellor.
dude. Yeah, I think I would be too.
And it does. Let's change graduation to Saturday night, and then that's everybody's leaving on Sunday.
Yeah,
they got all these events and stuff, and they got to catch a flight.
Hell, you could do it Friday night.
Yeah, well, they didn't have to fly in on Friday. A lot of people flying in.
Okay, all right.
You can
be vice chancellor. You secretary of defense or transportation secretary at school. Dude,
I'll be your PR guy.
There you go. Yeah, I could probably use one of those. I mean, yeah. I mean, why not have it at night and just like absolutely blow the roof off the place? Did you get a sport clip?
No, I went to Snapper Lawn Services. You know what would be a better idea? Not even have a commencement speaker. Let's have a DJ. Let's bring like Tiesto or somebody in there and just really blow it up.
That's what I'm saying. Shaq or something. Yeah. And like, because what's the point, dude? Like, this is 2024. It's so archaic and draconian. Like, let's just give it for what it is. And like, dude, Avicii. I mean,
we have to dig him up, but
Well, I'm just saying his songs. I think we could probably grab a few of those out of the vault. I think that's the move, man.
Yeah,
I think we might have found our podcast topic, dude. A friggin' nighttime graduation.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, I'm starting to think about sending kids to private schools for high school and stuff already. I mean, kid's 2 months old, and I'm already just absolutely losing sleep over the cost of that stuff. They had here's one for us, okay. Guys, we're just dreaming this as we go along. So I got some friends that have kids in a school here in Raleigh. They haven't had a snow day in like 3 or 4 years. And so they just announced that they're having a snow day tomorrow because they haven't had one in a while. Now, this is a private school, and I don't know how much private school costs yet, thank God. But I got news for a private school. If my kid goes there and you call me up and you say, hey, man, I know it's going to be 80 degrees and sunny in the middle of May on this Monday when you have to go to work, but we're having a snow day. We're not going to be here. I'm going to tell him. I'm like, well, you better leave the doors unlocked because my kid's going to be there and he's going to stay there until I pick him up. I mean, it was a true story, man. Snow day in the middle of May. Private school. What is the world coming to?
Well, I think they have those.
And we
snow
have
days
listeners, I guarantee
though.
that heard of this. Sorry.
Yeah, I think they have a built-in snow day, right? They built this into the schedule before the year, but
they haven't. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think
I'm not enough of a parent yet to know how this works. All I know is I got a feeling, dude. I'm going to be a Karen when it comes to my kid going to school. I'm just afraid of that. My mom's name is Anita, speaking of Mother's Day. And she's about what you'd think an Anita is like when it comes to like her son in school. Like when I was little, dude, if the teacher ever crossed me, dude, my mom was in there raising hell. No holds barred. And her only rule was, Brandon, you better be telling me the truth. Because if you lie to me and I go in there and I stand on business and I find out you lied and I look like an idiot, you can get the belt when I get home. And so that would usually get it out of me if I felt like, okay, man, I might be fudging this a little bit. Or I'd start saying, yeah, no, it's all true. But I mean, that's what, there's like always a little bud in there. But occasionally I'd be like, man, nah, this lady crossed me. And my mom was at the superintendent's office one time, man. I remember this story. This guy, this is a teacher whom I'm friends with their sons. One recently passed away, unfortunately, but who also went to Chapel Hill. Both of his sons did, but his teacher's name was Mr. Davis, and he had a rule that if this is back when I don't even know if kids have books anymore, if they read them all on a Kindle, but you'd get the book, and the school passed them out, and they put your name in the cover or whatever, and if you forgot your book, he would make you sing a song in front of the class to get it back, or you'd have to have lunch detention. Well, believe it or not, Sleep Dawg has not always been the most like extroverted. I was a little bit of a, a little shy when I was younger. This was like 6th grade, 8th grade maybe. And I forgot my social studies book under my desk. And I came back to get it. And he's like, well, you know the rules. And I was like, I'll be damned if I'm singing a song in front of this class. I'll take lunch detention. And so, of course, you have lunch detention. You got to go home. You got to tell your parents. And they're like, why on earth do you have lunch detention? Like, my parents were not happy about me getting in trouble. And so I told him, I was like, well, I forgot my social studies book. And the rule is you either got to sing a song in front of the class to get it back, or you have lunch detention. Dude, my mom's, I don't even think I could finish the sentence until we were in the Plymouth Voyager on our way back to that school. So my mom went straight to the principal's office and was like, you ever make my son's, and you ever humiliate my son again, it'll be the last. It, like, in hindsight, I'm like, damn, Mom, like, it's all in good fun. It's just lunch detention. But now I see it. I get it now. I was like, dude, I ain't singing a song.
Is that the most trouble you got to in high school?
That is by far the most trouble I got. And I should have gotten into way more, man. I was just like, teachers loved me, dude.
You want to hear the story,
Yes.
like what got me in the most trouble? This got me a Saturday school. Probably should have got punished way worse than this. And so Saturday school is basically where you have an extra day of school on Saturday for all the kids who got in trouble. And it's brutal. You get there at 7. I think you leave at, I think it was 2. And so looking back is like teachers actually
had it worse than you did.
Yeah. The teachers working the Saturday school. God bless them. So my buddy worked in the office, the principal's office, good friend of mine. And there was a new teacher, and I had her class, and classes were 45 minutes, and I would show up 25, 30 minutes late, like almost every other day. And I would stop in the office and get a tardy note from the principal's office and say, my buddy was giving me these notes, and say, oh, here you go. This is from Mr. Lansford. Well, it was... My buddy, Craig Lansford, was actually a student. He was just working in the office and writing me these notes and giving them to me. And she didn't know all the teachers or who worked at the school. And she kept every one of those tardy notes. And eventually,
it's like a Ponzi scheme, dude. How did you think you were going to get away with that?
And dude, she went to the principal and was like, who's Mr. Lansford? And we both got in big trouble. I thought I was smooth. And
dude,
it got me a Saturday school.
Yeah, I bet your dad was really happy about that. See, that was the thing, man. Getting in trouble in school was never an issue. Like, I was never worried about getting. It was like, because I knew if I got in trouble in any way, shape, or form, it was my parents I was going to have to deal with. I remember I ran a stop sign allegedly. Okay, I lived in this neighborhood, and my dad, he'll probably listen to this, he'll remember this, and I swear on my grandmother's grave, this is exactly how it happened. My dad, this was like I was in high school, and I was late coming home. But late, I mean, it was still daylight outside. They just like told me, I think I just started driving recently or something, and I was supposed to be home at like 8 o'clock or something. It was summer. In my neighborhood, they had a road, and off to the right was a cul-de-sac, and off to at a stop sign, and then the next stop sign was a cul-de-sac I lived on. We lived right on the corner. First stop sign I come to, and I come to a damn near complete stop. Okay, but I did roll through it. But it's like the same kind of stop that now is just commonplace, And there was a sheriff's deputy talking to one of my neighbors in his driveway, and so I go to my house, don't think anything of it, and I pull it around. I stop at my stop sign and turn around into my driveway, and here comes this sheriff's deputy like I just robbed a bank. Comes over on like one wheel, pull up into my driveway, and my dad's outside. He's already pissed because I'm late. And the dude gets out, and he gives me the business about running the stop sign. And, of course, my dad's already pissed at me because I'm late. So I want to be like, dude, I didn't run a stop sign, man. I didn't run a stop sign. Here I am. I mean, this is 25 years later, and I'm still telling it like it happened, man. I mean, if I was going to do it, if I was going to tell the truth about it or lie about it or whatever, I don't know. It's like I would come clean now. What do I got to lose, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this dude comes up and proceeds to tell my dad that I ran a stop sign, and like they're sort of bartering about whether to give me a ticket or not. Cop leaves. My dad's like, you can give him a ticket if you want to. I'm going to take care of it. And so he leaves without giving me a ticket. And my dad is like about to kill me. And my dad always told me this lesson. He said, it's better to be late and safe than in a hurry and sorry. That's like the Staton proverb that's been handed down generation after generation, I think. And so he was like, what do I always tell you? I said, and I think he was shocked that I had actually listened to that and remembered it. So I told him, and he's like, almost killed me, but because I actually listened to that, I didn't really get in that much trouble. But I swear to you, dude, I didn't run that stop sign. And I was like, I wish that cop would come around again, man. I wish I had an opportunity to. I hope he's listening somewhere, dude.
You know what? I believe
I
you,
didn't
Sleep.
run. Yeah,
I believe you. I know. I believe you, buddy.
It's messed up, dude.
I believe you.
Live to tell about it, man. 26 minutes in, guys. More war stories from. I kind of wish I'd thought of this so I could have gone down this road about some old time stories. Hurricanes down 3-1.
I don't see him coming back.
Don't see him coming back. They won last night. Yeah, it's been close too. You've been watching any of the games? I haven't watched a full game much.
I've been following every second of them.
Yeah, I mean, on the edge of my seat, cranking the horn just at home. Just, that's one of my favorite things about a Hurricanes game. If you've ever been to the PNC Arena, to do with the horn. I don't know if he's part of the team or not, but he's always got that. And the funniest part is in a hyped game, or especially one that goes into like overtime or double overtime. I mean, that dude's just gassed at the end, and he's like. And the fans are like, and they're like just waiting on him to blow the whistle, the horn again. And it's like give this guy a break, man. Come on. Yeah, they look about the Hurricanes look like they got about as much life in them as that dude's third blow in triple overtime. So it would be cool if they came back from. They were down 3-0. I mean, the Rangers look like they're.
Listen, if any fans out there that want to get like a grade A parking spot,
this is a true story.
Tell them you're ringing the bell,
cranking the horn.
Cranking the horn. Just tell them you're cranking the horn, and they'll just go ahead. Just try it.
Somebody try it, please, because I swear to God, I went with Tyler when he cranked the horn in a playoff game, I think, and we drive up, and Tyler pulls up, and he's driving, and he just does this little number, and they just right on by up to the next one. They like looking for a parking pass, like wave him down, and and they wave him by. And I kid you not, I'm surprised they didn't let us park in the tunnel of the stadium. We parked. I could reach out and touch the front door from our parking spot. Now getting out of there, that you're on your own there. Okay, guys.
Yeah, you don't want to leave.
Nah.
Into regulation. If you want to get out of there in a hurry, you better leave.
Better leave before the third horn gets cranked. Yep. Oh boy. NBA lottery. Okay, we could kind of get out of here on this because guys, we're struggling here. NBA lottery is pretty interesting. So that happened today. That establishes the draft, and basically the way that they set it up in the NBA is they let the worst team. They're sort of like preventing tanking or trying to, right? So you still, if you are the worst team in the league, you still have the best chance to get the first pick. But you're definitely far from guaranteed. I don't even think it's 50-50. I think it's like there's a couple of teams in the running. So for the second year in a row, okay, the Detroit Pistons, who had, I think, the number one pick 3 years ago, because that's how they got Cade Cunningham. I think he was number one overall. Second year in a row that they were last in the league, had the best chance of getting the number one pick, and wound up with the worst possible outcome both times, which is the number 5 pick. So the Atlanta Hawks had a 3% chance, and they get the number one pick. But here's where I think it's interesting from a NBA perspective. So, of course, Atlanta now has they got Trae Young and Dejounte Murray, and all signs are kind of pointing them to moving on from Trae Young. Now they got the first pick. We'll get into the draft class caliber here in a minute. I don't think it's exactly 09. Then you got the Wizards have the second pick. They could get Michael Jordan in his prime, and I don't think they'd win 40 games. But then you got Houston, who almost made the playoffs. They have the number 3 pick, and that's really interesting to me because they're going to be a good team in a couple of years. San Antonio, who's obviously got Wembanyama, they got the 4th pick and the 8th pick. And then Detroit gets 5. Charlotte at 6. Gosh, what a snooze-a-thon Charlotte is. And then who really cares about the rest of them? I just thought it was kind of interesting. And then Oklahoma City is the other one of note. They got a 12 pick. And I still think, even though they wound up losing last night and going down 2-1 to Dallas, I still think OKC's got a great chance to win it all. I don't know. I thought it was just interesting that Houston's going to wind up with a 3rd pick, and then San Antonio. I mean, those are 2 teams that are going to be good in the long run. Everything else, all the rest of those, and even Memphis at 9. I mean, they're kind of weird because they had a really bad year, but they got Desmond Bane, John Morant, like they got Jaren Jackson Jr. They got good players. So there's some sneaky. But then, of course, I think this might be one of the worst draft class, at least on paper, in quite some time. So what a crappy year to wind up in a good draft position. I mean, potentially, who knows until they play, but
yeah, well, I can tell you that there's no generational talented players that, there's no clear number 1. And a lot of debate is whether the number 1 pick is going to be that much more talented than the number 10 pick.
Mm-hmm.
And this draft class, according to a lot of experts, is very weak. Especially when you have somebody like, I'll just use Reed Shepherd as an example, who is a good college player, but a lot of people have him projected as a top 5 pick, which, he doesn't really strike me as like a top 5 traditional pick going off of past NBA drafts. But Sleep, you bring up a good point, and it's always interesting to see how teams work this draft. I think the draft is, when you look at it, is a huge part of small markets teams, especially for the teams like, Milwaukee, who got Giannis through the draft. You look at Oklahoma City, who got KD, Westbrook, Harden, all through the draft. And the draft is extremely important for those small market teams because they're not going to bring in a lot of talented free agents just because, it's not the most appealing place to go to. And when you look at the success of teams who draft well in the draft in these small markets, you can kind of see, where like, let's just say like the draft really hasn't done Charlotte a lot of good. They've had a lot of bad luck. They could have had Anthony Davis that one year, but instead of getting the 1st pick, they got the 2nd, and they took Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, who, he's a good player, but, he's
not Anthony Davis.
Yeah, 100%. And it just shows you how important in the direction of the franchise, how some of these picks can really change that. And I think Oklahoma City, when you look at an organization, they're one of the best who have done the best in the draft. And I'm always looking at teams like OKC to see who they're going after in the draft. They've done a great job. And for a small market team, they've done unbelievable. They have unbelievable fans. They scout. They have a great front office, and they're an organization who you can look at and use an example who has really done well in the draft, and a lot of their players have kind of panned out.
Yeah, and it's interesting because, with this day and age, the small market isn't as big of a detriment. The biggest thing about a small market, in my opinion, is, at least in the NBA, is a player wanting to play there. And you saw a lot of that with Damian Lillard not wanting to be in Portland anymore, not even wanting to be in Milwaukee. Like there's a little bit of buzz. He might be out of there now. They might be trying to move him because he just doesn't want to be in Milwaukee. So location matters, but you look at Golden State. Like Golden State's a market team now, but they weren't a market team when they started drafting their class of Thompson and Curry and Draymond. So they basically took a small market team and made it like an empire, right? So granted, they definitely have some geographical advantage. They were a bit of an anomaly being in San Francisco, but I think they were far from a serious team for a very, very long time until they drafted extremely well. I think you could probably have said the same for, if that core that you just mentioned in OKC had stayed there. I think you'd probably be talking about OKC in a very similar manner. I think this core seems like it will stay there for a while. You look at Charlotte, you mentioned Charlotte. Hell, they damn near got the one pick last year and would have had Wembanyama, and that would have changed the entire. I mean, as I said, it always comes back to Wembanyama for me, who said I was the first guy that just was like, yeah, this guy's going to bust. This dude might be the greatest athlete who ever lived. And the coldest take of all time by Sleep Dawg. Literally would have changed the trajectory of the franchise. San Antonio, it's tough to say that for but San Antonio's another one, man. Like, you draft well, and it can make a small to mid market team very good for a very long time. So you look at Minnesota, what they're doing right now. You look at Denver, the way that they've drafted some players, at least their core players around, and then you look at some of these other people that have taken because that's the problem I think with the major market teams is they're always sort of in the mix, right? So they're never really going to get like a top guy with any regularity. So the draft is important, and I think it'll be interesting to see who pans out, but definitely no one jumps off the page here is like, oh, I'm glad I got the one pick. I think even last year, if Wembanyama's not in that draft, I think Brandon Miller and Scoot Henderson, you're probably still thinking like, okay, this is a chance to get a great player. I'm not saying there aren't good players, and I'm not saying that you're not going to figure out someday that some of these players were a hell of a lot better than anybody ever realized, but there's definitely not a Wembanyama in this draft, period. Yeah. There's not a Zion. There's not a LeBron. Like, there are none. So
and I just want to say that we just kind of we had a lot. We weren't the most positive on Charlotte. They did do a good job last year. They got Brandon Miller. He had a pretty good year.
Yep.
So you got to give them a little bit of credit. But
historically they've been terrible.
They haven't done the best job. Yeah.
It's weird with Charlotte. It's like, dude, you guys draft some of these guys, and it's like, did you guys freeze? It's like a fantasy football draft where you've got like a mid first round pick, and you're sort of like, oh God, there's like 3 guys that are guarantees. And then if you got the 4th pick, you're like picking from 10 dudes and you ain't sure. And so you just wait at the last second, you just hit the button. You're like, oh God, I don't feel good about that. It's been Charlotte for like a decade. Only question I have about the NBA draft is, do you think, if you're a GM, okay, and I won't even state the question farther than that. If you're a GM, do you draft Bronny James if it means you get LeBron James? Whether the Lakers or anybody else?
No. Nope. Maybe if I'm the Lakers, but no, not right now. I do what's best for the franchise in the future. I don't think it just depends on. No, I don't do it. I don't, because I don't think LeBron's going to play longer than 3 years. He's already questioned it after this season. He's going to be 41, I think, in 3 years.
He's on that. Isn't he on like player options too at this point? He's getting like $50 million player option. And my thing is the only thing that I feel like could justify it is, first of all, LeBron James is awfully good still right now. I think he's probably top 10 MVP in the league. Voting. I don't know that, but dude had a pretty damn good year. It wasn't his fault they didn't make the playoffs or didn't do well in the playoffs. My only thing is that I guess I would contend there is like, from a business perspective, if you think you get LeBron James and all the things that brings to your organization, I would like to think if I were a GM, I would look past the dollar signs and more to like, hey, this can sort of take, like, dude, if the Hornets could get this, this is totally never going to happen. But if the Hornets could bring LeBron James just to create a buzz, pun intended, and maybe get a good pick and get some, you take Bronny James like a 2nd round pick. These guys never hardly work out anyway. If I'm Charlotte, I kind of look at that and like, now the problem is like, how are you going to pay everybody? They're not going to pay a luxury tax. LeBron James is not going to live in Charlotte, right? He's going to just go where he wants. So the problem is you got to be like the Knicks or the Heat or the like somewhere awesome, or Cleveland, I guess. And yeah, it's interesting, but somebody's going to draft him, no doubt about it. Somebody will draft him, and it'll be to try to lure LeBron in, I would imagine. So, good on LeBron, by the way, too. Like, I don't look. I don't know. You've created enough power within the NBA from your performance and all the things that you've done that, dude, if you got enough sway to be like, hey, man, I want my kid on the team. In some ways, I'm like, man, good on you, dude. I mean, that's a different stratosphere of influence than an old Sleep Dawg will probably ever achieve. Dude, we made it 40 minutes, man. I know you guys don't care about the NBA and what I did in high school. So thanks for just sitting here with us. Me and Big Hawk, we got one more episode before we hit the Jimmy Seafood Memorial Tournament 50th anniversary. Dude, they've been doing this 50 years. That's nuts. It is going to be an all-timer. Father's Day is in June. I don't know when, but a Jimmy Seafood box, I'm telling you, man, it's the move. Go ahead and get ahead of the crowd. And you can literally schedule your delivery, I'm pretty sure. So hit those guys up, man. They do a lot of good for Carolina. They do a lot of good for us, and it means a lot to us. So check that out. And then if you guys got anything you want us to talk about for the next episode, it would do us a huge favor to get a little idea tossed our way. Because, guys, we are on the desert with a horse with no name right now. There is nothing to talk about. So, you got anything else, Big Hawk?
Stay safe.
Stay safe, guys.